problems. I'm not saying society will collapse, because I don't think it will. I'm saying that there would be massive changes to our cultural understanding of, like, fucking is sort of central to everything in our society, whether we realize it or not. If we start fucking with how we fuck, we start changing everything else about our society. Like, Americans fuck differently than Canadians. Americans have totally different social arrangements for how fucking happens. We're very closely related culturally, but it's not exactly the same thing. And Canadians, going down, like, if you're a Canadian, you go down to Texas, and you're like, say, 35, 36, and you're like chatting with someone, and a 15-year-old starts hitting on you, as a Canadian, you're like, what the actual fuck? Like, there's awesome rock songs about how that is really creepy, man. Like, just no. Like, Nabokov wrote a book about no. Like, I mean, okay, Nabokov didn't write a book about no. He wrote a book about yes. But you read that, and we're like, no. In Texas, and I have several Texas friends that have confirmed this with them. They're like, well, it's not like wrong. And as a Canadian, you're like, what? She's 15! And they're like, well, yeah, but 100 years ago, everybody got married at 15. We're just still doing it. And as a Canadian, we're like, yeah! And in Texas, there's still families that are like, well, your mom got married at 16. Like, a generation back, normal in their family to marry at 15 or 16. Maybe later. But yeah, so just that difference leads to a tremendously different experience for both men and women in Texas. And, you know, generally in America. So if we start changing how we fuck, we're addressing why we fuck. And the changes are massive and unpredictable. Which is why thinkers in the church were a little bit skeptical about Canadians' rapid approach to homosexual marriage. So there's church issues about, well, we don't want to marry faggots in our church. That's a different issue altogether. But there were a lot of thinkers in the church who were like, wait. This is the first time our society has separated sex and the assumption of producing children. Because in Canada, like, the basis for a number of our laws in Canada still are rooted back in the past. Like, the reason no brother-sister sex is against the law in Canada, they're like, yeah, you don't want to produce mutant freaks. Like, reproduction is mentioned in our laws describing that. So we're like, so the church was like, okay, wait, guys, if we make gay marriage legal in Canada, and we're not saying necessarily that we shouldn't, but if we do that on the basis of the argument that reproduction is no longer a criteria, then there are a number of implications that we don't think people are thinking all the way through. Like, what about infertile brothers and sisters? No, we would never. That's disgusting. That's horrifying. Yeah, but if our legal argument is now we don't care about reproduction, what is your legal argument against infertile brothers and sisters marrying? And the response is generally, that's squicky, we would never do that. But guys, you just passed a law saying that, not talking about brother and sister sex, but saying that reproduction is no longer a central element to the legal argument. Well, yeah, because it's not. Okay, but people other than homosexuals don't have kids. Well, yeah, but that's squicky. We'll never have to deal with that. And that's why the thinkers in the church were a little nervous about the whole deal. The argument being made. They were like, I mean, I'm like, no, we should have legal marriage. I mean, we shouldn't require Christian pastors to marry homosexuals within the church because that's against the church rules. But civil society, secular society, tax law shit, I'm like, no, fuck, there's no reason not to have it, right? But when we make the argument based on thing X, and we're so hyper-focused on, okay, but this is the argument we'll use, and now homosexuals get their rights. Okay. But that argument doesn't just apply to homosexuals. And maybe you should be careful about knocking down that wall. No, shut up, you stupid bigoted Christian. Now the homosexuals are safe. And then in 10 years, all of a sudden, someone's like, I want to marry my sister. Well, you can't. Why not? Because it's squicky. Well, the law doesn't say anything about squick. And it's not like, I'm not saying, haha, therefore, you know, screw you guys, homosexuals shouldn't get married. I'm saying, you gotta think through, especially when you're talking about fucking. You've got to think through your arguments and what else it applies to. Oh, we're not selling that anymore. Oh yeah! Certain scientific railguns, certain magical index. I love this series. Speaking about genetic freaks. I saw, there's this cute chick, and I mean cute in the, like, 12-year-old way. Sorry, cute in the 12-year-old I do not have sexual attraction toward way. And I was like, oh, sweet railgun cosplay. She's like, Talia. I felt so guilty because I was the first one who said, hey, great costume. Because I do a little bit of cosplay, so when I see someone with a well put together costume, I'm like, fuck yeah, good job. That's not common. Guys, get in the habit, if you see someone in a sweet costume, be like, fuck yeah, nice costume. If you recognize the costume, be like, fuck yes, nice. I don't know what the fuck you're dressed up as, but it's hardcore. What are you dressed up as?
The Soka Hunter x Hunter.
Okay, I haven't seen Hunter x Hunter, therefore I don't know. But I recognize the quality of the work. Get in the habit of doing that, because a lot of people spend all fucking day looking totally badass, and they don't hear, hey dude, awesome costume, except for maybe the person they do a photo shoot with. And it's a lot of effort, and it really gives them props, and the more props you give them, the more awesome cosplays you'll see, and therefore the more hot chicks and skimpy cosplay you'll see. Social utility. Offer me $5. Are we doing both of these?
Yep.
$5.
20. 20.
20. 40.
50.
50.
60.
60.
70.
70. 70 once. He's checking his wallet.
It's about $140 worth of stuff.
80.
80. 80 once. 80 twice.
90.
90. 90 once. 90 twice. Sold to the guy with a lightning fetish.
Man, that joke was shocking.
Sorry. All of this at once? You do it.
Holy Christ.
Fuck. Yeah. Oh my God. Okay, Rosario plus Vampire 1 through...
I'll start it at $100.
$100, 10. And then Rosario plus Vampire Season 2, 1 through 9. Sorry, 10. We've got... Hayate the Combat Butler 1 through 20, I think. Air Gear 1 through... Jesus. 1 through 22. Yozakura Quartet 1 through 5. I'm getting all squeaky. Shiki Tsukai 1 through 6. End of list. I had 100.
$100.
That dude's getting a deal. $100 for this entire box of manga. $100 going once.
110.
What?
110.
110.
115.
115.
So what was all the series again?
Fail.
Shiki Tsukai, Rosario plus Vampire, Hayate the Combat Butler, Air Gear, Yozakura Quartet.
120.
125.
Gee, I don't know if like 30 cents a book is all that cheap.
130.
135.
140.
145.
Oh my God.
You can have it.
145 going once. What?
That's still a good deal.
145 going twice. Sold to Bulbasaur. Come on, do a Bulbasaur noise. There we go. I don't know what noise a Pokemon makes. I'll give you a hint. Someone was moving apparently. Okay. Strawberry. Shut up. Strawberry 100%, 1 through 14. Pandora Hearts 1 through 10. Negima 1 through 27.
Oh god.
Sorry, 1 through 36. Tenna on S string 1 through 5. Momogumi Senki 1 through 4. Can't read this one. Omamori Himari 1 through. God damn, whoever chose the font for this ought to be executed. 7, I think. Kill the typesetter for this one. Blah, blah, blah. She's sitting like this
Cipher now.
on a pool toy, all wet and shit. Quote, alas, I just cannot calm down. And then there's a close-up with detail of this area. Are you okay, Amari? You floated out pretty far. And there's tits. Like nipples. Nipples are drawn. And there's like a 12-year-old girl sitting on his crotch. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, blah. Oh, the cat girl. She read his mind and realized he was horny. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, he's feeling up the 12-year-old. Oh, everybody's shocked. In the bath. But, the external typesetting is shit. So, discount that. Because you guys care about that, right?
Right.
There's
Only
other
with
shit.
beer.
There's Negima, which isn't about underage girls with sexual.
But it's all for an
I'm
underage
going to
teacher.
guess about the nature of whose books these are. Male, 35-ish, single, possibly until recently. Lives alone.
Or he stopped being single and had to get rid of it.
There was no stickiness that I touched or saw. So a very neat and careful person, possibly OCD. You know personally.
I do, yes.
Yeah. Have I accurately described?
You are. Well, how many do I do? 5? You are 4 for 5.
4 for 5.
80%.
Which did I miss? Which was I wrong on?
The OCD.
He's not very OCD. He's probably 4.5 out of 5. I'm not getting away from it. I'm going to stick with that streak.
Whole box again?
They're not a whole box.
Whole box of softcore spag material.
50 bucks.
20.
You can have it.
50. This man knows what he wants. And he wants underage schoolgirls.
Yeah.
Mace Bulbasaur if he gets within 10 feet. Sorry, we were at 50.
60.
60. You could mace her too, I don't know. You might be able to wrestle her down.
I'll let it go.
She'll let it go. I didn't need to hear that. Yeah, all of a sudden that Disney song takes on a whole new meaning.
I just can't see a box of anime going for cheap. It's impossible.
Well, so far it's at what, 55? 60. So far it's at 60, which is, let me do the math, fucking cheap. Pennies. Pennies per book.
That's like months worth of spanking material right there.
It depends whether you use that almond oil tip or not.
Oh yeah.
You go with that.
Also, it depends how fast of a reader you are. Also, it depends on your blood testosterone level.
Well, they're reading with one hand.
It depends on your technique. I mean, hypothetically speaking, if you had one of those gel sleeves, vibrating cock ring, or an assistant. I mean, obviously you don't have an assistant. But what I'm saying is you can use both hands and still get off. Or if you're 14, all you have to do is look at the cover and you'll get off. But if you're 14, I doubt you're in here.
Wrong.
So, we were 60? 60 going once. No, wait, yeah. 60 going twice. Wow, okay. Sold! And seriously, the almond oil, well, not internally might be a bad idea. I'm not entirely sure about food safety.